Alright guys, how's it going? Right, so I'm in Strikalov Gateway. I'd already done an hour of this episode in which I went out and did a bit of pirating. I think I made about 60,000 credits. However, I had just released my second video. This is the third one in the life of crime, yeah? I just released my second one onto YouTube and there was a comment on YouTube. Now, here we go. Tubiak, it says, I think you wasted a lot of collector limpets there. As I understand it, each limpet will only collect a single item and expire if you specifically target something, which is what I was doing, yeah? He goes on, if you were to fire one off without targeting anything in particular, a single limpet will run around collecting whatever it can. And I tried it out on a door and it did indeed work. You still need to open the cargo hatch and you can only fly it, you know, you've got to make sure that you're not flying too fast, I think. I'm going to try it out again in this episode though, just so you can see it in action. So, the first hour of this video that I had made, I'm just going to throw it out and basically start this episode again. Right, I'm going to swap up to the A1 hatch breaker. It's got a lower hack time and longer range. You can only have the one limpet, but I don't really think it matters that much. Right, we've got one collector limpet controller which I'm going to use. I'm going to upgrade my thrusters and I'm going to upgrade my power plant as well. Same as before, the hatch breaker goes on to my second fire group at 1 and the collector will go to 2. I would also be tempted to upgrade my weaponry. This medium hardpoint, gimbaled pulse laser, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. In fact, I'm going to go with 3 gimbaled pulse lasers everywhere. Right, so I'm back down to only the 8 cargo capacity. Right, so let's try out this collector again and the hatch breaker again. Now, my aim here is going to be get enough money to get myself outfitted in a decent Cobra. So maybe need to make a couple of 100,000 more, either through piracy or doing these slavery runs or smuggling. Right, I've picked up one to find personal weapons, 2 personal weapons and deliver them back here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do those or not. Right, there's a delivery for narcotics. Right, what's this? Indium. Oh, I'm going to accept. Right, now here's a delivery for combat stabilizers, which I'm going to take because it's 48,000. And here's another one. Wow, battle weapons. 95,000. I'll be accepting this one as well. So this is going to Ikuru. Now these smuggling missions are what you want, that's for sure. Right, don't forget to stock up on limpets. I've only got one because I'm going to be delivering some cargo first, yeah? Right, so Ikuru is where we were heading to. Purchase the data. Right. Nice and easy one to get into because it's just one of these simple outposts. Off we go. Now, I should say, I've got some bounties. I've got some fines and I've got some bounties. I will not be collecting bounties unless it was, you know, done illegally, which I'm not even sure can be done. So, any fines that I pick up, I'm not going to pay those either. So I'm going to be collecting fines and not collecting the bounties that I pick up. Only advancement through illegal means. There's an awful lot of ships around here. Right, why is there feds around here?
Silent running.
Right, this must be a different kind of station.
Shields offline. Landing gear deployed.
Because it's a military outpost, right? You've got to be careful of that then. Use the heat sink.
Heat sink deployed. Scan detected.
Got to get in, got to get in.
Hull integrity compromised. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
I got fined, that's annoying. Ah,
Scan detected.
you've got to be kidding me. Let's see how much I've been fined. I've been fined 22,000 for those battle weapons. I had landed, but I wasn't quite inside, I think. I'm not going to pay that anyway, though. personal weapons to McKee Ring. Could do that one probably. Right, GD219. I'm going to take this one. I can't believe I tried to smuggle weapons into a military outpost. I mean, yeah. This is a white dwarf. This one's around.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
I don't really want to be coming back here, yeah? So I'm just going to get out of it. Right, so it's a Coriolis station, so we do need to come into it in between the planet and station. You can line it up nicely using the scanner, yeah, in the middle. You can see I'm coming at it pretty central there.
Docking request denied. Docking request granted.
A little bit fast here.
Thermal signature restored.
Nice and easy though.
Shields online.
Yeah, smuggling pays for sure. Right, now pick up some more limpets. Now, I have to find a food cartridge. I may as well take it, because I'm going to be pirating soon anyway. Now, one more smuggle to 110 Hercules. Right, now I'm going to upgrade my shields on this. I should still be fine regarding my balance and rebuy cost. Yep, I'm still fine there. I'm just going to upgrade it as I go along because, you know, currently with there not being the 10% module penalty, you may as well just continue to do that with the ship. Again, make sure you boost out and don't get scanned on the way out. Right, so another easy 48,000. Right, so this one looks a little bit too good to miss. Here's an issue, yeah. I'm going to have to eject these limpets. Now, if we check out the bulletin board again, 6 slaves for 150,000. Yeah, I'm going to have to take that one, obviously. It is kind of difficult. You need to sort of commit to either being a smuggler or a pirate, yeah? Because if you've got all those limpets in your cargo hold, it's sort of, you can easily end up missing out in some of these haulage ones. Simply because you don't have enough space left in your cargo hold, yeah? Anyway, this one's worth an awful lot, so I am going to go and cash it in. BT Port in V775. It's going to be quite a long trip to get there, but it's going to be worth it. Yeah, I've got quite a long trip here. 87,000 light seconds. Python System Defence Force, you don't see that very much, do you? Yeah, I'm starting to notice the lack of cargo space in the Adder. Don't get me wrong, for all this piracy and smuggling stuff, the Adder is absolutely great. It's certainly the first ship that you should be thinking about getting into. But I'm at that stage now where I'm thinking, I need a Cobra. I really need to get a lot more cargo space. I think if I was a new player starting out like this, Life of Crime, I would go for the Adder and then just do smuggling runs in it, yeah? Don't take on any more than, you know, don't bite off more than you can chew with doing piracy and stuff like that. But as far as smuggling runs go, you can easily get the Adder up to 12, 16 or so cargo space. More than enough to make an awful lot of money early on in the game. Right, so I'm thinking after I deliver these slaves, I'm going to head into this Vonarburg Enterprise and see if it's got a shipyard. See if I can maybe get a D-spec Cobra outfitted for piracy and even more smuggling.
Landing gear deployed.
Who would design a spaceport like this? I can't think of anybody that would do that intentionally.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Another small fortune of 148,000 credits for 6 slaves. I'm definitely making an awful lot of money in slavery. Right, so like I said, I'm going to head to Vonarburg. Now, I guess, if I think about it, you should always try to be carrying at least 1 or 2 limpets, yeah? Just noticing there that I'm out of ammo for my hatch breaker. So if the opportunity arises, then it's going to be more difficult to pirate somebody. You can still blow open the cargo hatch, yeah? If you target the cargo hatch and blow open, then you've got a chance of them dropping stuff. And they may drop stuff anyway if you just shoot them up a bit. However, carrying a couple of limpets around, gonna make it a little bit easier, yeah? Oh, looks like I'm being interdicted. Don't see any point in not fighting it though. Get as much practice in as I can.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
That's quite funny, I had completely forgotten about the new ships as well. Something like the Diamondback Scout, it just lacks the internal compartments to really do this properly. And annoyingly, they don't actually have a Cobra. Now let's check the bulletin board and see if I can maybe go somewhere else. Right, so I've managed to fail these piracy ones simply because I logged out for a day, yeah. You've really got to commit to them. Either commit to it, go do the piracy ones, or stick to these slavery runs and stuff like that, yeah. That's the smartest thing to do. I'm going to discard all this. I'm going to hunt down that Cobra. I'm going to outfit it and then probably partake in a little bit of piracy. Seeking goods. Now, I wonder if any of these are ever illegal goods. I'm going to go and check these out. If you remember those performance enhancers that we were doing right at the start, those were actually counted as smuggling, yeah. Although the performance enhancers themselves weren't actually illegal, it was still smuggling. So I'm going to check out this Seeking Goods and see what they're after. And then I'm just going to head into Izing Vision and see if they've got a Cobra. Head over to this one. Now here's the thing, I do actually have a cargo scanner, yeah? So I should be able to scan the ship and see what it is that they take. Right, so again we've got a bunch of Type 9s, as you probably expected. Let's scan and see what it is they take. Wealth redistribution. Sounds a bit illegal, yeah? Tobacco, right. Now what about this one? Tobacco again. Right, so unsurprisingly, tobacco. Now, I doubt I'm going to find tobacco at this station, but you never know. If they do, however, I'm going to check out and see if it does actually count as smuggling. I'm pretty sure it will do. Let's have a quick check of the commodities market. It's high tech and refinery, yeah, so they're not going to have tobacco here. And it does look like it is illegal. Is there another station here? Let's have a look. Citron Hub. Tobacco prohibited here as well. I mean, you could sort of do those runs if you wanted to go somewhere else with tobacco, but I'm not going to go and do that. Probably can make some pretty decent money if you find tobacco nearby and you've got a big enough ship. Let's check the shipyard. Looking for a Cobra. Right, they've got a Cobra, so I'm going to purchase that. So yeah, the big thing here is going to be the large increase in the internals. It's going to give me massive more cargo space and plenty of room for everything else. The Cobra is, of course, the fastest ship in the game in a straight line, that is. Yeah, so I'm going to part exchange. I can't believe I'm in a Cobra again. Maybe change the livery on her to something else. Right, let's get into outfitting though. 623,000 credits left. As always, I'm going to start off in the internals. I'm going to sell everything I don't want. Now, they don't have an A3 distributor, so I'm going to go with the D3 maybe, or the B3. I think I'll go with the B3 here. I'm going to stick with my D sensors. There was a comment that apparently the sensors do matter regarding gimbaled weapons, but somebody else can check that out for me. I'm not going to do it right now. Go for a D4 drive. Let's stick in a D4 power plant. And we'll go for the D4 thrusters. Yeah, I've got more than enough money for all this, I think. Now, we're going to be a pirate ship, so one thing you do start to notice is the fuel costs go up quite a lot at the Cobra. Maybe not quite so bad now, though. We'll stick with our basic interdictor. And we're going to have Class 2 collectors. Right, the A1 collector's the best I've got, yeah? So you're obviously going to take that one. And we need a hatch breaker, the best of which is a B1. Now, you're going to want a shield, obviously, which I guess is going to be this D4, because it's the best I can afford. Now, the Cobra shields are pretty weak, yeah? And a D4 is not great, and you're a pretty big target, so just be aware of that. These last two spots, however, are going to be... I mean, you could go with a shield cell bank if you were worried about it. One option would be to ditch the interdictor, which means you can no longer pull people out of Super Cruise, obviously. But you could then move the collector down one, and that would give you a space for a Class 2 shield cell bank, maybe an A2, which should be pretty good at filling a Cobra's shields at D4. If you need that extra security, then yeah, you could maybe do that. I'm going to stick with this for now though, and fill these Class 4s with 16 capacity cargo racks. This is going to give me plenty of capacity. Right, so that's how it looks regarding internals. You're talking Ds everywhere. I could only get the B3 distributor. I would rather have the A. I'll get that as soon as I can find one. The D4 shield, again, your shields are weak, yeah? I'm not going to be able to take a pounding from bigger ships. But you are still fast in a Cobra. You've got the hatch breaker, you've got the collector, you've got the interdictor, and you've got 32 ton of cargo space. You are a very good pirate ship in reality, looking at that, yeah? Now I need to fix out some weapons. Obviously we want the heatsink launcher, go with the cargo scanner. I'm going to stick in this E right now to see how much power I've got left after I buy weapons. Obviously you've got the 4 hard points, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. I'm just going to stick with my pulse lasers, and again the pulse laser on the bottom. I just want to get shields down, yeah, so burst lasers would be pretty good, but they're pretty hard on power as well, as you know. Right, power is not going to be a problem, so that means I can get away with a better cargo scanner. Maybe even something like better thrusters, yeah. I'm going to go back with a better scanner first of all though. Right, as you can see, no problems regarding power. And that is how the fire groups should look. You could also stick the hatch breaker onto button 2 here, yeah. And that means you need to switch for the scan. And you also need to switch when you want to fire off the collector. I'm just going to stick with this for now though. Right, now let's have a look at the bulletin board. Right, trade data, stolen. Not really anything here regarding jobs. What I'm going to do is grab a few limpets. I'm not quite sure how many to take. Maybe 10? Because you do also find limpets inside of ships, yeah? Let's just go with 16, which is half of my capacity. Is it worth taking this one? Trade data. I mean, you quite often see trade data. 20,000 reward. There's no point not taking it, yeah. So I'm just going to accept that one. A quick look at my rebuy cost tells me it's way lower than my balance. Right, off we go to do some pirating. Completely forgot that a D-spec Cobra, the thrusters are not awesome on it. But as you can see, I reach 409. So I should be able to get away from anything I need to get away from. Now you've always got a chance of finding trade data in these signal sources, yeah? Would you believe it?
Cargo scoop deployed.
Now, let's try out the collector.
Programming limpet crew.
I had it selected, which I didn't want to do. Right, it didn't actually collect it either. Right, now, like I mentioned, do not target anything, just fire off the collector.
Programming limpet drone.
And get closer to the stuff. There you go. So it certainly works very well in actual fact. Just be wary that it's a little bit buggy depending on how fast you go, what your speed is, yeah. During combat might not be that easy to do, however you should get away with it. There you go. Can you actually pick the limpet up again? I don't think so, no. It seems to follow you around. Yep, so pretty cool. The collector works as advertised. Just don't target anything. Why did they do that? I have got no idea. Right, we could also look for maybe an unidentified signal source around someplace, or my original plan of going to a resource extraction site. Another weak signal source. Let's jump in here. I mean, here's the thing. These could be worth quite a lot, yeah? Even more trade data. Right, now again, don't target anything.
Programming limpet drone.
Just let it do its job. This could be extremely profitable, in all honesty, for very little effort. That's the only reason I came back into this one, because, yeah, it probably started ringing a bell in your heads, yeah? With 32 ton of cargo space, I could have even more quite easily, yeah? You can have 50 odd tons of cargo space in a Cobra. Just fly around letting these collectors do their job. Yeah, pretty fast money.
Cargo scoop.
Right, so low intensity resource extraction site. Sounds good. Pretty odd looking planet, this one. Very nice rings on it. Coming in a little bit hot. Not too bad though. Right, so I need to be careful about scans, although I don't really care because I'm not going to pay any fines anyway. But for now, I'm looking for a nice juicy target. And that's not one.
Target shields offline.
Neither is that. Now there seems to be an awful lot of system authority around.
Target shield.
Sidewinder, not really a juicy target either. Let's scan him though. Yeah, I think this guy needs to find a new line of work. He's carrying coffee. Well, I guess that's not too bad. However, yeah, why not limpet him?
Programming limpet drone. Hatchbreaker limpet engaged.
Yeah, managed to catch on to him.
Target cargo dropped.
Fire my collector.
Destroyed. Programming limpet drone.
Don't forget to open the cargo hatch, yeah?
Target shields offline.
Now asps, these are normally pretty good targets, yeah? I want to be careful though because there does appear to be a lot of system security around. And even if I just fire a limpet, I'm betting they'll all turn on me.
Online.
There must be some kind of range to that though, yeah?
Offline.
Right, let's scan this guy. Imperial slaves, right, this guy's a target for sure. Targets cargo hatch as well. You don't really need to do that for the limpets, I've noticed. But if you're going to be firing at them, then that's what you want to be firing at. Right, so let's go with this hatch breaker.
Programming limpet drone. Collector limpet expired.
Right.
Breaker limpet engaged.
Now it looks like he blew it down, he blew it away with his
Programming limpet drone.
point defence, yeah?
Hatch breaker limpet expired. Target cargo dropped.
Now, fire off a collector,
Limpet drone.
another hatch breaker.
Limpet drone. Under attack. Cargo scope deployed.
Got to be careful though, like I said.
Hatch breaker limpet engaged.
Because the system security are attacking me.
Target cargo dropped. Collector limpet expired.
Off goes another collector. Yeah, you got to be careful here.
Under attack. Cargo scoop retracted.
Let's get out of here. Slightly annoying, yeah, because I got those Imperial slaves out of them, but I couldn't pick them up because of the system security attacking me. But I think I'll be going back for them. Now this is where if I had had a slightly more upgraded ship, this would have been a lot easier.
Under attack.
There's just too many of them, yeah. I'm really missing that A distributor as well. It's pretty annoying, yeah. All those Imperial slaves that I just can't quite get to, and it's really, it's really tempted me to go back. But I just don't quite have the ship yet. Well, that would have been a brilliant one to get as well. But yeah, there's no way I can take on all those Vipers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to this Izing Vision in Nito and just cash in my trade data. And that'll do it for this episode, because it must be getting pretty close to the 30 minutes now. Yep, they don't make it easy. I suppose it makes sense, yeah, because had those system authority not been there, I would have siphoned that guy's cargo, and it is worth an awful lot of money, yeah. Maybe if I had just waited a little while until the system security had gone away or moved on, could have gotten away with it. But, you know, it's a learning process. The next time I'm going to know how to do it better. Now, I guess also the smart thing to do before I go back to Nito, make sure it's got a black market, yeah? Right, it doesn't appear to have a black market. It's got one here though, yeah? So I'm going to go and sell all my trade data here, apart from the one to take back to Izing Vision, yeah? What have I got? I've got 1 stolen coffee and 9 stolen trade data. So, into the black market. The coffee was worth about 1,000. Now, I need to sell all but 1 of the trade data. It's not worth that much, really. 10,000. And I'm going to take this one back to Izing Vision. Try and burn off a bit of speed. And obviously you want to come at it again from inside the planet orbit, yeah.
Shields offline.
Now you're a bigger target, yeah, so you may get scanned even easier. So just be careful of that.
Heatsink deployed.
Nice and easy, does it?
Signature restored.
Right, so only 20,000. So overall, not the most profitable attempt. However, so close, you know, just for those Imperial slaves, that would have been a great one. But yeah, when you look at these smuggling jobs, 90,000 credits, it's pretty difficult to beat these. I think a bit of more balancing needs to be done, yeah? Because really, if I was just out to make money, I would just be hammering these non-stop. However, in the next one, I am going to attempt a big score like the one I just missed out on there. A little bit more outfitting, get the ship ready, and full-on piracy, I think, in the next episode. Catch you in the next one.